Premier League is back, folks. Premier League is back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel as the Premier League returns at the weekend. And we've travelled to newly promoted Fulham. And I've been joined by a very special guest. You saw him on the show that had all the promotion teams on it. It is Mr. Steve Liddiard. How are you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good, Doug. Hopefully you are yourself, and hopefully all the listeners and watchers are good as well. I might be feeling a bit sort of flaggy after Saturday, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm doing good. And obviously, big thank you for you to come on as well. Diego is in. He says, "Please hit a like as you enter the live stream chat." Yes, absolutely. What's this? I'm hearing whispers of the Arsenal squad are using your Liverpool anthem, "You'll Never Walk Alone," in their training session. That's news to me, mate. That is absolutely news to me. Let me just say that. And yes, I did hear about the Crystal Palace as well. Tally ho, Douglas, as Gary Richards says. If I see Gary Richards say "tally ho" one more time, I am going to scream. And hello, Jade. I hope you are very, very well. And obviously enjoy Edinburgh. Enjoy Edinburgh when it comes. So, you're back in the Premier League. How are you feeling being back in the Premier League?
I think we touched on this the last time we done a podcast, Doug. I'm absolutely terrified. No, in one sense, it's really good to be back. But obviously, like anything, especially a newly promoted side, regardless of what Liverpool do in the season, you generally know at the end of the season they're going to be in the Premier League. More often than not, they're going to be towards that top end. Whereas obviously with someone like Fulham, you're in the Premier League. You don't know where you're going to end up. You could end up, bottom of the league. You could end up mid-table. You could even end up doing a Leicester. But let's be honest, that's a once-in-a-lifetime achievement for someone to do that. But again, that's where it is for us at the moment. But yeah, so staying up for this year would be good. I'll take 17th. But obviously anything else is a Brucey bonus.
I think if I'm being honest, like I look at your squad, and I suppose the big question is obviously about Mitrovic. Do you think he can fire the goals to keep you guys up?
Definitely. I think we've covered that before, and I covered it on one of your friends' podcast last night. I think a lot is made about Mitrovic not scoring in the Premier League. But if you delve deeper, there are reasons for that, and that's also not true. So obviously the first season, we said before, the first season he was actually the second quickest to double figures, and we were a really dire side when we went down. And you're only as good as your service. The second season under Parker, just not played, unfit, no confidence whatsoever. Made a lot of appearances. Pretty much 2/3 of those were from the bench. Cavallero, a winger, preferred to him up top. I mean, that's just. Can't say anything else. Sorry, Scotty, but that's just poor management. That's poor management for a Sunday League side, let alone a Premier League outfit. But it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a very, very interesting season for sure. Hello to John Conway. I'd probably start Firmino over Nùnez, as Bobby is more experienced, but would be happy with either starting. Yeah, we will obviously get into team lineups very, very later on in the show. Hello, Douglas and Steve. Nice to see Steve again. Arsenal did that in their training to get used to the Anfield experience. Absolute nonsense. Yeah, I believe it's the all or nothing. I do have Amazon Prime, so what I'm going to do is I will be watching that later. I'll be watching that later to see how funny and how bad it actually is as well. Hi, Jade, how are you? Hello, Rennie, hope you're good. Rennie, Kasper Schmeichel has gone. How are you feeling about that? I'll be honest, I was just about obviously signed in here, and then obviously the news just came through that Kasper Schmeichel has left Leicester to join Nice. So, who's your number one going to be? Is it going to be Daniel Iverson? Will it be Danny Ward, or will it be somebody else? So let me know in the chat, Rennie, because I have to say I am very, very surprised that he has left as well.
Doug, one thing we know is it's not going to be Bernd Leno.
No. Yeah. First of all, you have Bernd Leno. How are you feeling about that signing? Because I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I think you predicted it on that show we did.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of talk going around sort of a little while ago. There was also sort of talk with people like Solomon. A lot of the press have been really, really sort of slow to pick up on this, apart from a few sort of close to Fulham outlets, as close as they can be. But yeah, Bernd Leno's been talked about for a little while. It's just been dragging. I did find it pretty funny that I think we've actually pulled Arsenal's pants down completely on the deal. I mean, 3 million up front. I mean, they wanted 15 million or something from the beginning, if rumours are to be true. So yeah, I mean, 3 million is an absolute steal. Let's be honest. He could have half a season of Howlers, and 3 million is still a steal for Bernd Leno.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all right, Stephen. Thanks. I have just checked, and I have hit 2K. Thank you, everybody. I have hit 2K. Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, to get to 2K before the season starts is absolutely amazing. So thank you very, very much to everybody. I'm upset that Kasper's confirmed to Nice for 11 years. Yeah, 11 years he was at Leicester, wasn't he? 11 years he was at Leicester.
Deal. It's a really strange deal. I mean, you've had Aaron Ramsey go to Nice. You've had Kasper Schmeichel go to Nice. Now people say sort of people like Leno going to Fulham. I mean, that's a completely weird one. You're going to Nice from Leicester. I mean, I don't get
it. If Tottenham did an all or nothing, it should be just called nothing. It's all for nothing. Get it right, everyone. All for nothing. I'm in tears, to be honest. I imagine all the Leicester City fans will be in tears for sure. Great signing for Fulham. Leicester in trouble, lost Kasper, possibly losing Tielemans, Maddison and Fofana as well. Alan C, I said on Cop On last week, Douglas, that I heard Leicester were looking to get Kelleher on loan. I don't see that happening, to be honest. The only reason I say that is the Adrian number 2. No, thank you. So I think I don't see Kelleher going in as well. Again, lad, fully deserved. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. Congratulations, mate. Deserved. Thank you. Congratulations. So deserved. Love the channel community. Thank you. To be honest, it's nice to go there anyway. Eddie Middlebrook, come on, you white.
Yes, Eddie. Yes.
Anyway, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please consider subscribing. I do appreciate that as well. Afternoon, boys and girls. Jeannie, good. I hope you are well. Hello, everybody. Bournemouth are in for Nat Phillips, apparently. Are they? Doesn't surprise me. I think he was going to go there anyway. Leicester are buggered. Tell us how you really feel, Gary. But we have to say about Marco Silva, because this will probably please you, Steve, but Liverpool have never beaten a Marco Silva side away from home in the Premier League. So could that run continue on Saturday?
Well, it could have, but now you've mentioned it, if it's something that we call Fulhamish. Every single stat, or someone that's been on a drought, or someone that hasn't scored in about 27 years, guess what happens? They score against Fulham. It happens. Every Fulham fan will tell you. So everyone who hasn't scored, and who hasn't scored for Liverpool in a while, Matip, someone like that, you can guarantee he's going to score a hat-trick on Saturday. It's Fulhamish. It's the Fulham way. It's the Fulham way.
Matip hat-trick. That would be very, very interesting if that actually happened. Thank you, Chris. Well deserved. I have more subs than Gabriel Bonlahor has recognitions. To be honest, we are getting Ben to replace Kasper. Ben who? Ben Foster. No, Ben Foster. Really?
What's he like? 40 now, isn't he? No, he's not that old, is he? No.
That's ridiculous. Did Kasper leave Leicester? Yes, Kasper has left Leicester. I came up with that stat man. Welsh. Yeah, I know you did. No Manor Solomon Saturday. His former club haven't released him, so he is not registered. Oh my days. That's bad. He's a guy from Shakhtar, right?
Yeah, it's certainly bad, because now Harry Wilson's out. It looks like, it's not that bad. Well, we've got Cabano. Oh, we might have to have Knockout on the bench, Eddie. Knockout Cavallero incoming. You wait.
Aye. Yeah, could be one to obviously watch out for in the Premier League when he does come. He is a very good player, actually. Manor Solomon, saw him a lot for Shakhtar last season, and I thought he was very, very good. So hopefully he will obviously do well as well. But ins and outs at Fulham, because obviously Bernd Leno did sign last night, but you have brought in Kevin Mbabu, which I think is a fantastic sign. I think he's a very good right back. Loves to bomb forward. He's very good defensively as well. Where did you think you would get Andreas Pereira? I have to say, I was quite shocked when I saw that, but actually, I think that makes sense. You get him out of Manchester United, and I think if you play him to his position, I think he'll be a very good signing. What have you made of the ins and outs this season?
Well, so far, I mean, typical Fulham. I think there's gonna be a few more to come. Maybe even more than we've already signed. But it's steady business. It's good business, but we're still lacking that centre back, and especially coming up on Saturday. We could really get exposed. I think the saving grace with that is Leno and Palhinha might help us out a bit with that sort of defensive aspect. But yeah, again. Yeah, pleased with the signings. I'm not going to lie, I am pleased with the signings we've got, and we've obviously gone for quality. And like I say, we've taken a while with Leno, but we've absolutely pulled Arsenal's pants down on that one. You know, the business I work for could have probably forked out the fee that we paid for him. So, do you know what I mean? It's a ridiculous fee of 3 million straight out. You know, with add-ons. I think something like they're getting 1 million if we stay up. So I saw somewhere from a Fulham fan that they tweeted. Arsenal must be pretty confident of us staying up this year, which is interesting. So maybe, like I say, maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe they've been tipped off who's coming our way. You know, obviously not on the level of Arsenal signings, but you know, maybe discussion said, look, you know, we're going to pretty much try and guarantee that you're going to get this back. So, but yeah. even then, 4 to 8 million is an absolute steal for this guy. It really is.
Yeah. It definitely is, and obviously Palhinha, because there was a lot of rumours about him going to Wolves, because obviously we know all about Wolves and buying Portuguese players. So to obviously get Palhinha in ahead of Wolves will make you very, very excited, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Wolves, and I think everyone else thought Wolves are gonna not nip him, but sort of get it over the line, a bit like we've taken a while with Leno, but it would get over the line. It hasn't for whatever reason, and it's a strange one, because I almost think the attraction to London for Palhinha. I mean, you can see on his Instagram, he loves being in London already. Sort of first day he's out and about in London, taking in the sights and that. I think if we can see out the overall project being sold to him is probably better than Wolves. I think Wolves have always had the potential there since they've come up, but I do feel they've stagnated a little bit since Nùnez left. Maybe that's a bit harsh. Wolves fans will say different because they are a comfortable Premier League side, but I just think there's something there where they could have pushed on, and they've missed a trick somewhere. And I can't speak for Wolves fans, but because they know the club a lot better than I do, but I just think they've got the ability to push, but they're not. And I think maybe that's what Palhinha's looked at and said, well, Fulham want to go places. Wolves are quite happy where they are, sort of thing. So maybe that swung him, but only the man can answer himself.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well that, obviously Wolves do have a good relationship with obviously, Jorge Mendes. And, I think to get a very good player in Palhinha, I think is going to improve your midfield. Because I think looking at your team, like Bobby Dickerdorfer-Reid, he loves a goal against us. Mitrovic, we obviously know about him as well. But I just think this season, I think midfield and attack especially, I think you're very, very stronger this season. So I look forward to see what you guys can, obviously do as well. Fulham Liverpool watch. Wait and see, David. Fulham have to watch out for Diaz, Sal, and Thiago passing that because is ridiculous. Get Potter as replacement for Rodgers. Yeah, that ain't happening, Rennie. Sorry, not a chance that is happening. Well, you did say have a watch out for Fabio Carvalho. I have to say, he has been very good in pre-season. So how are you feeling knowing he's coming back on Saturday?
So I'm still disappointed he's left, but I'm not as disappointed, sort of when it first hit. I think because he's left in the right way. We touched on before, maybe Harvey Elliott didn't quite leave in the right fashion, whereas Carvalho did. And Liverpool have maybe learnt a lesson that they struggle with, relationship with us. So they didn't have to put in, I understand they might have even put in a 20% clause on Carvalho if they sell him on at any point. They didn't have to do that from what I understand. And if that is true. So that's a really nice touch to actually say, look, we want this guy. We want to get him nailed. He wants to come to us. What can we do to seal this deal before someone else nips in, basically? So I think it's a really nice touch from Liverpool if that is true. And yeah, I'm disappointed to see him go, but I am pleased to see him go to someone like Liverpool, where obviously Elliott's developing further. I think Carvalho, Elliott's even said himself, Carvalho's a better player than he is.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially at his age.
Yeah. But the games I've seen him, he's played. He's looked really, really dangerous, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. David, that ain't happening. Frank Lampard.
No, mate.
Guarantee it's going to be Frank Lampard.
Lampard's gone, mate. 3 games in, couple of heavy defeats. Ciao.
Yeah. Does Steve think Fulham need another striker just in case Mitrovic picks up an injury? Good question, Chris.
Chris, I've been saying this for years, mate. We've never had that proper second striker. We have Nùnez, who I still think will be a good striker long term, but he's young from Brazil. He needs to go on loan this year. Mitrovic gets injured. Let's say Mitrovic gets, God forbid he gets like a 9 months out with some sort of massive injury, anterior cruciate, anything like that. Who have we got? Literally, who have we got to play up front in the Premier League? We will struggle big time. So yeah, we're a top striker as well. We need someone that is similar, not quite as good, but similar caliber to Mitrovic, because we found last time out when Mitrovic wasn't hitting the form, or Parker wasn't playing him, we had to resort to wingers playing up front. And let's be honest, they didn't cut the mustard, which is probably another part of the reason we went down again.
Yeah, Marco Silva said before this game as well that you're not mentally prepared. Is that a little bit worrying?
Not really. Well, yeah, of course it's worrying, but it's not a surprise, because I've been saying before, sort of people give you negative feedback on social media saying you're negative, your glass half full, but then a few months later, the manager comes out and says exactly the same thing. And I'm not saying it's okay in the sense of, because it's clearly not, you've got things to resolve. Oh, but it's okay because the manager's highlighted it. Well, some of us have been saying it for donkeys and getting absolutely hammered for it. So he's just backed up everything that we've been saying, really.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Diego. And obviously go and follow Steve's Twitter as well. So definitely. I don't see update for Fofana to Chelsea. Well, it's just been broken that Cucurella's away to Chelsea. So there we go. Is Marco Silva never will go alone in the training ground? I don't. John Conway, thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Congratulations on 2K. Thank you very much, John. I do appreciate that super chat. I'm obsessed and intrigued to see Carvalho play. Never been this excited by signing ever. Was wonderful to watch in the Championship. Yeah, he was absolutely pivotal last season to Fulham's play. Hello, Brian. Hope you're good. Fulham or Liverpool, any more signings? Liverpool, not sure. Fulham, can you see anybody else coming in?
Well, put it this way. If we don't get a striker, side note. If we don't get a left-back, side note. If we don't get 1 or 2 decent quality centre-backs in, then you can put us 20th. I honestly believe that. You can, well, maybe not. Bournemouth be below us, but you can put us comfortably in the bottom 3 for sure. So we need centre-backs. That's what we need now.
Centre backs, yeah. One of the names that you were being linked with, and I don't know how to say this, but Vestergaard, is that likely to happen?
There is talk about. I think he's one of a few on the rumour mill. Maybe we've touched upon it. I mean, who really knows? Would I like Vestergaard? I would take him, yes. He would be one of the 2 centre-backs I'd sign. However, I still think we need a better quality centre-back to actually slot straight into. You'd have sort of Ream Vestergaard as a backup and toss in Adarabioyo and obviously whoever the new centre-back would be. We've gone for a couple. We've gone for Romagnoli, who then went to his boyhood club. Again, someone like Eric Bailly, I believe Roma are interested. Mourinho connection, he probably won't come to us. Someone of that calibre for Fulham, and if he can stay fit, would be an awesome signing. Bit of experience to go with a young head at the back. But it's convincing these guys. And the more we get through the door, like Leno, like Solomon, like Palhinha, it's like anything. You're going to start attracting better players through the door thinking, oh, hang on a minute, these guys have got a chance here. So
Eddie said Issa Diop.
Eddie, I'd like to sign him, not at 20 million. And I also don't think he'll be good as a sort of third centre-back, but I don't think he's that top-quality centre-back that we need. But again, he'll come in and do really well. Who am I to say?
Liverpool need a fielder. Yeah, that is quite an understatement, to be honest. As well, by your joke, maybe. I completely agree with Steve. Fulham need a centre-back and striker for me. Yeah, definitely. I reckon Fulham need a striker. The like of AG, he was brilliant at my Palace and Andy Johnson. Yeah, I remember Andy Johnson. Right wee nifty player, but yeah, he was very good for Palace in that season. Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Hello, Ryan. I hope you are very well, my friend. Leno is a great signing for Fulham, class keeper. Yeah, I think is a fantastic signing as well. I was actually just checking, obviously, the goalkeepers. Obviously, Marek Rodak is obviously there as well. But I actually forgot you had Paulo Gazzaniga as well. So do you expect Bernd Leno to be the number 1 this season?
100%. It's not even a question. If Scott Parker was in charge, it would probably be Gazzaniga as number 1, Rodak second, and Leno third. That's just my take on that one. But yeah, no, Leno will definitely be the starter, which I'm fortunate for Rodak because I like him. But I sort of said on social media towards the end of the season, he was making some complacent mistakes. Not just him, but in goal. That you can't be making in the Championship, let alone coming into Premier League. And for that reason, I don't feel he's a Premier League quality keeper to play week in, week out, whereas someone like Leno is.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And I think as well that I know Gazzaniga was also at Southampton as well, but for me, Leno is a very, very good signing, and you've obviously paid, was it 5 million? That's an absolute bargain.
Three
million. That's an absolute bargain.
That's a pants down. That's an absolute steal.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Ryan, thank you very much. We don't have to worry about Clint Dempsey. Oh goodness me, Clint Dempsey. Yeah, I remember all those years playing Fulham and Clint Dempsey. Hello, Cyber Leader. Hope you're good. Johnson was good for Fulham until he went to Where Football Dies. Where Football Dies?
Where's that?
Where is that? Yeah, you need to elaborate. It's Jake's birthday. Happy birthday to Jake. Yeah, he's West Ham unofficial, isn't he? I believe so. Anyway, but we will obviously come on to the game because the last time you were in the Premier League, you actually took 4 points off us. Yeah, 1-0 at Anfield through Ademola Lookman, which doesn't surprise me one bit. And then you managed to get a 1-1 draw against us at Craven Cottage. So how are you feeling going into this game?
Right. First and foremost, you took 2 points off us when we should have probably had 6 points off the 2 games.
Yeah.
So I think there was a contentious decision that led to the draw, the draw at the Cottage. Lookman, I think it was Lamina that scored at Liverpool in the away game, 1-0, which was a fantastic goal. And I think everyone felt we would stay up at that point, and that was the media included. But I think it was an absolute train wreck after that. I think it couldn't have gone any worse, to be honest. It actually went down the other way. But yeah, no, 4 points out of 6 against Liverpool last time out. They've always been tended to be close games. Again, we'll probably give predictions later. I still think it'll be a kind of close game again, maybe with a goal or two in it. But again, we'll see. We'll see what Saturday brings. You know, I'm a little bit more confident now we've got a keeper in. But again, it's going to be how the defence, sort of shores up for the weekend. You know, if they've got a game in them before we get another centre back or two in, or whether literally it's just going to be too much from the off for them. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be a very, very interesting game for sure. Cyber leader, this is a good thing. Good thing we didn't go for Calvert-Lewin, too injury prone. Yeah, he's picked up I think it's what you call a freak injury as well. I honestly, Calvert-Lewin for me, he's more of a fashion model than a footballer these days. Sorry, had to be said. Never easy for us away at Fulham. No, definitely not. We don't tend to win easy. They are being close tight games in recent times. Yep, absolutely. I can see Everton going down unless they get a forward. Quite possibly. Hello, Ravi. Hope you are good, my friend. Good to see you. 12:30 kickoff. Yes, we all know that Klopp hates the 12:30 kickoffs. I don't mind the 12:30 kickoffs, to be honest. I don't mind them at all. So I think you'll be well up for this. And Craven Cottage is actually having a little bit of work done, isn't it? One of the stands is getting refurbished, I think. Is that right?
So one of the stands has got just a completely new stand built into it. The other one's gone. The old Riverside stand's gone. They've opened up the bottom tier now for season ticket holders and at the weekend. The rest of the stand will be open either later in the season, but ready for next season, I believe. There will again be a lot more people screaming at me saying they know a lot more than I do on that, and that's fair enough. But it's not going to be ready for Saturday, obviously. It'll be good. The new stand looks really good. A lot of the photos, a lot of the comments from the weekend's game against Villarreal when they open it up again, it looks really, really good, really modern, really plush. But obviously, we still kept that Fulham edge to it. Sort of with the other three sides of the ground, it's still that old school style that a lot of fans do like going to.
Aye, yeah, definitely. It says. Yes, I have to say that going to Craven Cottage is not easy, and it never has been easy. And as Chris has said, there's been some very, very close games between the sides. I remember a 3-2. I think one year. I think when Sturridge got a hat trick that day as well. I remember when you beat us. I think it was 3-1, and Philip Degan and I think I want to say Jay Spearing both got sent off in that game, or maybe JB Carragher actually, as well. Balls hate those two, says Brian. Jurgen Klopp loves Des Kelly at BT Sport. Yes, he certainly does. Yes, I really did see you've got a 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. Brian Morrissey said 12:30 too early for the beers. It's never too early for beers. Never too early. What about the Hammersmith stand? Could be a close game. 2-1 Red, says David. Yeah, we will go into team selections now. So how do you see Fulham lining up on Saturday?
It's difficult. Well, I'm going to go with Leno. Is going to go in goal. He's signed in time, sort of 2 to 3 decent training days ahead of him to actually get that over. So I'm going to go with Leno at the back. Do you want a full lineup or? I think. Go ahead. Yeah. So he's going to go based on the signings we've got at the moment, and it's too late really. Anyone that signs, let's say from today or tomorrow, it's too late to go straight into the first 11 for Saturday. So we'll go with Leno in goal, Robinson left back, Ream and Adebayo. The question mark is whether he plays Tete or Mbabu. I think he's going to go Tete. However, I would personally go with Mbabu, because he also came in and got an assist against Villarreal straight off the bench. Yes, it's a pre-season friendly, but you could see the quality straight away. We're getting that ball into the box. So I would go. I think he'll go Tete, but I would go with Mbabu personally. Midfield, you're going to have probably Harrison, Reed, Polina, Pereira, and then you're going to go with a top three. you're going to go Mitrovic up top. That's a dead cert. So unless he gets injured or anything, an absolute dead cert. Wilson's obviously out now. So I think you're going to find Cabano starting and Bobby Decker over Reed. I think really at the moment they're the only options we've got. If what I'm hearing is Solomon is not eligible. I haven't heard that myself, but let's go on the assumption he isn't. Then it'll be Cabano playing instead. But I would actually play Cabano and Solomon if I had the option, and not Bobby Decker over Reed. But again, that's little things up in the air. But that's probably a similar lineup to what you might have had us coming out with at the weekend.
Yeah. So, for obviously Liverpool side of things, Alisson is meant to be back, so I think he comes straight back in. I actually think it's going to be practically the same team that played Man City in the Community Shield, and then I think what you'll see is probably Nunez comes on at some point in the middle of the game, and I think Carvalho will definitely come on at some point as well. So I'm going to go Ali in goal. I'm going to go Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, and then I think it'll be the three midfield again: Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago, and then I think it'll be Diaz, Firmino, Salah. I think the only change is really Ali for Adrian, because I think that's a shoo-in that he comes straight back in as well. So. Could be very, very interesting, that team anyway. But only if Ali is 100% fit, he will definitely come back in. If he doesn't, then it's definitely going to be Adrian, because Kelleher's out, and also I think what's his name, Harvey Davis is too young. Anyway, Brian Morrissey has asked, what about those ticket prices, Steve?
Well, Brian, I'm gonna cut to the chase. I've got the same opinion as a lot of Fulham fans. So I can't tend to make. I don't have a season ticket for a reason. So I used to live in sort of Surrey, had a season ticket. I now live in Hampshire for a number of years. I'm also a part-time referee for the FA. I don't have the time to have a season ticket, but I started taking my kids as much as I could. Sort of a couple of games last year, getting them into it. They really enjoyed it. Getting to a few games myself. Those ticket prices for if you're not a season ticket holder, they're absolutely ridiculous. £200-300 to take myself and my kids. Bear in mind the tickets and the day experience and everything. To Fulham, we're not Manchester City. It's not going to happen. Could I afford to take them to a handful of games? Yes. Would I want to pay those prices? No. I could do so much more with the kids. And unfortunately, it's pricing out the Fulham fans. I absolutely agree with you. And the thing is as well that yes, we're obviously the Premier League are obviously pricing out fans to go to football matches, but I couldn't believe the amount that Fulham were charging Liverpool. But do you know what? It's just the part and parcel of obviously going to football game. So Jay's got her team in here. So she's got Ali, Trent, VVD, Matip, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Keita. I'm not sure Keita's fit. I've seen that Keita's ill. So I could be completely wrong. And then she's gone Bobby, De Salah, Diaz for me. Interesting. Chris has gone Alisson, Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Elliott, Salah, Nunez, Diaz. Ooh, interesting. Solomon is not available. Well, I don't know, actually. There's a few reports saying he might not be available, but I suppose we'll just wait. Anyway, Brian Marcy says to Chris, no Thiago. Hello, Napoon. I hope good. Ginny has gone Ali, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robbo, Fab, Hendo, Thiago, Salah, Diaz, Bobby. So there is a lot of you actually going for Bobby ahead of Nunez, which I like. I like a lot. Hello, Jordan Hyman. I see one of Elliott or Carvalho starting against the old club. I think Elliott, as he started the season for us last season before the injury, that is a good point. That is a very, very good point. And I think Harvey Elliott is in for a very good season this season, because it was such a cruel way to be injured against Leeds. I think he started almost every single game, and then up to that Leeds game, just unfortunately got a very, very serious injury.
Liverpool must go to Fulham with intentions to win. Yes, I would agree with that. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fab, Thiago, Elliott, Diaz, Nùnez, Salah. So I think that's the first person I've seen that Nùnez might start. Interesting. Naby is fit. Okay, Naby is fit. I did see, I think it's Curtis Jones, I think is out injured. The less said about that one, the better. Ali, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson, Thiago, Fabinho, Elliott, Salah, Nùnez, Diaz. Gary Gomez instead of Matip. That's very bold. That is very, very bold indeed. I know Joe Gomez obviously wears number 2, but I think it's a little bit too early to be starting him. Anyway, and Jordan Hyman has gone Darwin to start.
Doug, where is everyone wanting Elliott to play? Are they wanting to play part of a front 3 or behind the front 3?
Probably in the midfield 3.
No.
He did play a lot of midfield last season.
Then no. You play Carvalho. You play Carvalho. So you don't play Elliott in a position that's Carvalho's position. That's just my take. You don't play a right back in a left back slot. You don't play a centre midfielder in a centre back slot. Carvalho is made for that cam position above Elliott. You don't play him there. Whether Klopp does that, that's up to Klopp. But you don't play him there. If you want to play Elliott as a cam, you don't. You put Carvalho straight in.
Interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Naby is fit. Narnia World moment here, everyone. I would love that, Gary La. Left of a 3, says Gary. That could be interesting. And Elliott in the midfield 3, says Brian.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. Right. We've gone obviously through the game as a whole. We've obviously spoken about Liverpool, spoken about Fulham. What's your score prediction? What is your score prediction for the game on Saturday?
It's going to be close. I think it's going to be close, but I do think there's going to be a 3-1 scoreline. Maybe, I think someone alluded to last night, probably going to be a couple of late goals, or maybe 2-1, then a late third if we're pushing for the equaliser. So yeah, close enough game. 3-1.
3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah. Who said Liverpool? Who said Liverpool?
Oh, you going Fulham? Fulham?
No, I'm not going Fulham. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not going Fulham.
I think you'll give us a really hard game. It always is a tough place to go to in Craven Cottage. Do I see us keeping a clean sheet? Maybe, but I'm going to give you a goal because we all know what Mitrovic is like, and we all know that Dick Reed, he loves a goal against us as well. I am going to go. I think there'll be goals. I think there will be goals in this. I'm going to go.
For that. 5-1, 6-1.
I'm going to go Fulham 1. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool as well. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
Probably it. I think it'll be about right. It won't be too far wrong.
Yeah, but I think you might get the opening goal. That's my feeling. Anyway, Genie, I don't think it's going to be 4-0.
No.
To be honest,
you're dreaming, son.
I think you are. 3-1 Liverpool, says Brian. Fulham 0, Liverpool 2, Salah Nùnez. Yeah, there is a lot of 2-0s coming in, actually. 2-0 says Shane, and 2-0 Zane as well. Guys, get your score predictions in the chat, and obviously read them out before we obviously have to head as well. Gary has gone 5-1 Liverpool. I don't think it's going to be that. But I have to say, whatever the result is going to be, it is going to be a very, very intriguing affair. Rennie's gone 3-1 to Liverpool. Steve, thank you very, very much for coming on and giving your insights into obviously Fulham against Liverpool. Tell people where they can find you.
So you can find me on a Twitter handle of Lids, that's with a double D 84. Or for those of you who can't make the game on Saturday and live around Dorset area, you can come and watch me at Dorchester Town.
There you go. There you go, because obviously you are a referee, aren't you?
I will be on the line on Saturday, so if you're at a loss what to do, you live in Dorset and you can't get to the game at the weekend, come and give me some abuse.
Come and give you abuse. I'm sure they won't do that. But no, Steve, thank you very much for coming on. Yeah, guys, go and check out Steve's Twitter as well. And yes, guys, if you live in Dorchester, then please go and see Steve in action. See how well he does. And I'm guessing he's probably better than any of the Premier League refs anyway. Salah loves an opening day goal. He certainly does. Could be 5 in a row or 6 in a row. I think it could be potentially. We never make it easy at Craven Cottage. Been a lot of draws. Yes, that is very true. Fulham with Liverpool 3, says John. Liverpool 3-1. Keita if fit, Salah and Firmino. Cheers, lads, and thanks, lads. Can Steve replace Premier League referees? There we go. I knew that question was going to come there. I can't answer that question on air, I'm afraid. But if you see me in person, I'll answer that question honestly. But yeah, guys. If you have missed the show, then obviously watch it on playback as well. Also, big thank you to everyone to get me to 2K. I'm absolutely over the moon that we managed to get there before the start of the season. Yeah, we shall see what happens on Saturday. Yeah, Fulham Liverpool 12:30 should be a very, very good one, and hopefully the Reds get the victory. But it's a very tricky place to go to, so we will see. But anyway, from Steve and myself, it's goodbye, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, guys.